Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And we are back. So I look up and on some of the national broadcasts, I think it was Newsmax, and I see former Congressman Peter King talking about this incident in Washington Square Park. And the congressman joins me live right now. Congressman, thank you for appearing. Congressman, are you there?
Dominic?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Congressman?
Now I can, yeah. Now I can.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, I apologize for the technical difficulties. So I
No
saw
problem.
you on Newsmax, and I want you, Governor Hochul has strongly condemned the incident. The police commissioner is livid, stating that it's criminal and that detectives are investigating. But you and I both know it won't go anywhere because even if they make the arrest, the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, is dead on arrival. I want you to listen to the mayor, though, Congressman King, almost making a joke out of this and referring to the perpetrators as youth and kids. Listen to this.
So I've seen videos of kids throwing snowballs at members of the NYPD in Washington Square Park. And first I want to say that officers have been on the front line of helping our city respond to this blizzard. They have been keeping New Yorkers safe, and they have also been at the heart of our efforts of digging New Yorkers' cars out of these kinds of conditions and ensuring that our ambulances, our MTA buses can keep functioning across this city. They and our entire city workforce deserve to be treated with respect. The only person in our city's workforce who deserves to be treated with a snowball is me.
So, Congressman King, a number of things about his response. But why is he comparing police officers, first-line responders, that can take a bullet at any moment to other city workers? It's almost like he was looking for anything to say except to condemn what happened.
Yeah, basically he suggested some kind of an equivalence between the police officers and these thugs and punks that were throwing snowballs at them. And, snowballs sound fun in games. It's not. You get hit in the eye with a snowball. You get hit in the face with a snowball. It can leave a lot of damage. It's very painful. But somehow with him, I can imagine, I hate to say this, let's say 20 imams are walking down the street and a bunch of white kids started throwing snowballs at them. A bunch of kids, and the imam's doing a good job, and the kids having fun, and let's not make a big deal out of it. He'd be a civil rights investigation going on. He'd have the every cop in the country locking up these kids, these punks who throwing snowballs at the imams. No, this is just disgraceful. By Mamdani, it shows that he just equates the cops with everyone else. There's kids throwing snowballs, there's cops, there's first responders, there's people driving ambulances. Everyone's doing the best they can, and the kids having some fun. An absolute disgrace. Anyone, to me, whether it's a teacher or certainly a cop or a fireman who putting their lives on the line, they should be treated with respect. And there's no debate about that. If you lift a finger to a cop, to me, that's a crime. That's an assault, and action should be taken against you. What's going to happen now? You're right. And by the way, Jessica Tisch, somewhere she's going to reach the end of the line with this guy. I mean, she has to, first of all, to the extent I know her, and I've known her on and off for almost 20 years now, I believe she genuinely bleeds blue. I mean, she is definitely identifies with with the police officers. But in addition to that, she has to face those more than 30,000 cops, and she has to be. She's supposed to be their representative, fighting hard for them. And if the mayor acts like this is just a big joke that they're throwing snowballs and disrespecting cops like that, and what kind of a tone does that set as far as the average goon, the average criminal on the street, the average young punk, when a cop tells him to move off a street corner, or if a cop starts asking him questions, they spit at the cop. They say, "Who cares what you have to say?" And they can point to the mayor. And I think it's just a absolute disgrace. I can't emphasize enough now. Apart from the fact that my father was a cop for over 30 years, and I've known so many cops, and I've also gone to so many cops' funerals. To me, what happened yesterday was so disgusting and disgraceful. And the mayor, he should be that alone. People should disregard everything he has to say. The guy he has no interest in Dominic, in the America that you and I love.
You know, Congressman King, and I agree with everything you just said, especially the part about the America that you and I love. When I was growing up, if something like this had happened, not all, I won't be a phony, but one or two of these mothers would have ran out there and smacked that kid or grabbed that kid by the ear and say, "Get your black in the house." Where is that, Congressman? Where are the parents? I mean, you have these young black kids openly defying the badge, openly defying authority. Nobody says anything. And not just defying, physically defying. They think it's a joke.
Yeah, I don't know where they are. I don't know where the lines of authority are broken down here, but maybe the impossible will happen. Maybe Alvin Bragg will finally do the right thing. These kids should be tracked down. They should be arrested and action taken against them, not just a slap in the wrist. An example should be set that these guys are punks and goons and just thugs, and they should be treated as such. And this type of disrespect for law and order and for authority, what does that do? You know, civilization really hangs on a very slender thread. I mean, I'm afraid that we're always, throughout human history, we're just so far away from a total breakdown. And you can't have a cop everywhere. You can't have somebody monitoring everything we do. And there's just certain rules that people are expected to follow. Once that line starts to break down, once that thread starts to break, you're going to have chaos. And if you're not, it starts to me the simplest thing of all is respect cops. If you don't do that, then how are you going to respect your neighbor? How are you going to respect the bodega owner? How are you going to respect the bartender? How are you going to respect the bus driver? I mean, all that whole breakdown in society and the rules that should the unwritten rules, the written and the unwritten rules that bind us together. And in the past, and I'm not trying to glorify the past, but growing up, I would say, 98% of people observe these things. I can't imagine anyone thinking of throwing something at a cop, except maybe a bad guy, and that bad guy would end up in jail. But the whole breakdown in civil order is really distressing, and to have a mayor, in effect, enabling that, encouraging it, by making a big joke out of the fact. Somebody hit him in the face with a snowball. I don't think it would be such a big joke.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.